Janine PIEPEN from Drunkabilly Records. Today, in the Psychobilly news forums, was discussed how some people, artists, as well as people entering our scene who are not rockabillys or psychobillys or punks or skinheads themselves, feel, well, as our label is the Psychobilly label, let's keep it to the subject of rockabilly and psychobillies. People from crossover scenes such as new wave or pop or any kind of fusion crossover streaming very often come into our scene and then start to try to change our scene, saying that, oh, rockabilly limits himself or herself, the psychobilly limits her or herself, it's so limiting. Why would you limit yourself to a punk identity? Why would you limit your outlook, your lifestyle, your clothes to just one concept? If you can be free like us and be unlimited and be anything you like, whenever you want, you can change. Well, even though we are open-minded to that concept, we understand the concept. A rockabilly or a psychobilly or a punk is often the identity has come to them, so they are chosen by the identity and the circumstances. But we have committed to limiting ourselves within an identity concept that really appeals to us and we like and that works for us, because we feel a person that can limit themselves to something they really like also comes with very often the old school, mostly with the old school identity, and it's a reliable identity. You can always count on it. You know what you get, what you see is what you get. It doesn't just free flow into all kinds of unexpected angles. We limit ourselves to an identity we like, and we are proud of that. But sometimes, even though we are very open-minded to people who do not do the same thing and want to, because it's understandable, the free flow thinking is understandable. That's, however, not what we do in our scene. However, that's very, very controversial to accept for many people, that we choose to be like this and stay like this, even though it limits ourselves to a certain old school way of being and thinking. So very often what happens is that even though we then are open to crossover events and welcoming them and accepting them in our scene, very often what happens is that these people try to police us and change us and motivate us to change and be like them, which then causes a conflict created by them in our scene. And this is where very often the controversy happens within our scene, and often we are then the ones that are blamed for being not flexible, while we are actually very open-minded and welcome anybody in our scene. However, we do not like it to be policed or sheriffed or controlled, to have to change something that we love and we are forever faithful to. So that was a little bit about the controversial part of our scene and the conflict that very often causes in the minds of other people outside of our scene, especially that enter our scene for the first time, as it seems to be very difficult for them to accept. Even though we are not controlling of other people, it still seems to be, for many new people and new members, a real big issue. So check us out on Drunkabilly Records website.